Hello and welcome back. Today is Wednesday, January 21st. I have your 3 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the page. Sorry for the late afternoon post. I was going through it this morning. I was not feeling good. I was not feeling good last night. Went to bed early and then woke up and I felt even worse this morning. But now I'm starting to get back in the groove of it once all the medicine is kicking in. But we have a 7-game NBA slate, another 7-game NBA slate, NBA Rivalry Week. We all know these two teams on ESPN. It's just a massive rivalry game overall. And we kick our day off, Cleveland versus Charlotte, 237 over under. Cleveland 2.5-point favorite. I think I've seen 3 on some books as well. This is on ESPN. This should be a great game. Early on, Charlotte's one of my favorite League Pass teams all year round. They've been super good. They're super fun. A young team in this matchup. Nipple, Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, the Ball brothers battling it out in this one. And then Donovan Mitchell, the Garland, and I think Sam Merrill-less Cleveland Cavaliers. Jalen Taysom should have a good game. Donovan Mitchell should have a good game in this one. Should be a great game. Should be a fast-paced game. Should be a lot of points. This should be a great same-game parlay game overall. Then the slate takes a turn for a little bit. We get Indiana versus Boston. I would say this is a rivalry game, but 10.5-point spread. There's no Halliburton. Indiana's in their Peterson, Tankathon dreams overall. In Boston, they've looked pretty good overall. Watch this be the Peyton Pritchard show in that game, 226 over-under. I think this over-under has gone down a little bit. I think it opened at 228. Now it's at 226, so I think this is going to be a little low-scoring game. Brooklyn versus New York, 222. Man, oh man, I think the Knicks have won a lot of I think they've won like 10 straight games against, or man, watch me be completely wrong, but they've won a lot of games against the Nets. This used to be a fun rivalry, but now it's not. Knicks, 11.5-point favorite. The Knicks are going through it, though. The Knicks are just going through it. They need a bounce-back game, and now they get the Nets. They should take care of business, right? But we don't know. The players meeting, the Cat trade rumors. Should be an interesting game. Watch Cat have an incredible game bouncing back from all the rumors. But, hey, when there's smoke, there's fire. You win the NBA Cup, and you never get back to the top. The last 2 NBA Cup champions have never gone back to it. You want to be the runner-up in the NBA Cup. You never want to be the champion in the NBA Cup. Detroit versus the Pelicans. I would say this is a pretty good game. I think Zion was downgraded to questionable, so I think he might be ruled out in this game, so it could be the Trey Murphy show. I bet Cade Cunningham has a great game in this game. I bet he has a nice assist game in this one. Detroit, 9.5-point favorite here in this one, but I think this game's going to be closer than what the spread shows. I think this game's going to be pretty good overall. Fun League Pass game. Atlanta versus Memphis. Now we get to a close spread. 1.5-point favorite for Memphis here, which is weird. You would think Atlanta would be the favorite after all their moves, but they are the underdog in this matchup. 239 over-under. This should be points, and more points in that one. I think the wrong team was favored, but watch Ja Morant finally continue to be good in back-to-back games overall. Watch him have a good assists game. And interesting to see how Atlanta continues to run their new lineups with their new players. I think they've moved C.J. McCollum off the bench. They have more role players around Jalen Johnson, so Jalen Johnson should have a great game in that one. The late-night ESPN NBA rivalry game. We all know that rivalry, Oklahoma City versus Milwaukee. It's one of the fiercest rivalries in the sport. We get to watch Giannis, 2-time champ versus two-time MVP versus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, future 2-time MVP. They're probably just going to tell Giannis to hop on the plane and be like, hey, just hop on the plane. Come on, just hop on the plane. Just come with us. Let's all go together. Let's all go back to Oklahoma City. You don't want to be here. Watch them just do the trade tonight, but this one, 9.5, it should be stinky unless the Bucks somehow just battle it out in this one. Giannis just goes Captain Insano mode in that game. In the Toronto versus Sacramento, we get DeMar DeRozan playing his former team. Toronto 6.5-point favorites in this one. 223 over-under. Should be a pretty good game. Nice little late-night cap. Closer spread on the slate. So today's slate of games, though, we have some massive spreads overall. So definitely be weary with some people's orders. Could be an NBA blowout Wednesday here today. But I got 3 brand new plays. And before we jump into today's plays, we got to recap yesterday's action and yesterday in the NBA. And I'm going 1-3 in best bets. Hey, just like my sickness last night and this morning, I carried over from the plays. Like, God fucking damn. Jalen Green, man, he had a layup stuffed at the rim. I thought it should have been a goaltending. I think early on in the game, they didn't call it. Jalen Green had a nice little alley-oop dunk. VJ Edgecombe, he looked incredible last night. VJ Edgecombe looked insanely good in that game. And then Jalen Green late in the game, he had the ball. He had a layup. He missed it. He had another layup. He missed it. And then I was like, it's over. He runs down the court, grabs the inbound ball. Cleveland is fouling. They call travel. I could not fucking believe it. They called it travel on Jalen Green when he was getting fouled in that one. It was easily going to hit the over with the 2 free throws because they were in the bonus, but he falls short. 12 points in the game. We needed one more basket. And the same thing with Stephon Castle, man. Stephon Castle had a great game. I think he had a kind of poor first half, had a great third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, he had a layup stuffed by Ahmed Thompson. He chucked so many threes and missed all of them. And then the 2 assists, because I was hoping it would be 2 more assists because he was at 8. Nice little double-double game for him. He had so many passes to Victor Wembanyama, and he was missing in them. So it just was one of those games. LeBron James, hand up, I would say not close. He finished with 19. I thought he would have a great game, but it was the Luka Puka Doncic game in that one. But the Jalen Green Castle one bugged the fuck out of me. Kobe White, he had an incredible fourth quarter. I was watching the game, banged 4 straight threes. It was amazing. But hey, it is what it is. That fucking sucked overall, but today's a brand new day. I'm feeling better and I'm feeling great. So let's just jump into it. For my first play of the day, going to be in this Cleveland-Charlotte game, 237 over under. I have been back and forth all morning in this game. Is it the I just spelled this guy's name wrong too. Yeah, I'm doing this live with you guys. I've been on the Concanipple train. Concanipple. I've been taking Concanipple everywhere. Wanted to take Concanipple. Wanted to take Donovan Mitchell in this one, but Charlotte actually pretty good versus star players. They doubled the star players a lot, so Donovan Mitchell assist could be a good one. But Brandon Miller, man, he's been very consistent in these last few games. He has a great history against the Cavs. I think it's the Brandon Miller show. Even with it's the Ball brothers one, so I feel like I'm going to pick the wrong one, but I feel good with Brandon Miller in this one. He has a good matchup. He's the shooting guard on this team, so give me Brandon Miller to score 20-plus points, coming minus 126. On DraftKings, Cavs, they allowed the 8th most points and the 4th most threes to the shooting guard position. The Cavs, they allowed the 8th most points and the 2nd most threes these last 15 games. And then the Cavaliers, these last 7 games, allowed the 3rd most points to the shooting guard position. And Brandon Miller has been pretty great overall. 6 for his last 10, averaging 21.6 points per game. Last 5 games, he's had 18, 13. Then these last 3, 26, 28, and 23 in the most recent game. And the most recent game was a blowout. So he still hit his point total in a blowout. He's becoming the best player, not best player, but the main player on this Hornets team. LaMelo Ball, his minutes are very inconsistent. Concanipple steady as they could come, but Brandon Miller versus the Cavs, 6 for his last 7, averaging 23.4 points per game. Last 3 games against the Cavs, he's had 24, 25, and 20 in the most recent matchup. 58% hit rate at home this season, averaging 20.8 points per game. Over 2 for his last 2 against the Cavs at home, having 31 and 25 in both of those home games against the Cavs. Cleveland, they struggle versus spot-up shooters. I bet this could be a great shooting game for Concanipple and Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller takes 25% of his gets 25% of his points in the spot-up motion, and Cleveland allows the 25th most spot-up shots. So we love that overall coming in this matchup. Cleveland allows the 26th most straightaway threes, so those 2K hot zones, I always like to say, because that's something everyone can relate to. Cleveland has the 26th most straightaway threes, where Brandon Miller takes 43% of his shots from. So he has an overall nice shooting matchup, spot-up shooting matchup in this game. He has a great history against the Cavs, 6 for his last 7. Shooting guards versus Cleveland have had some big games. Isaiah Joe, 16. Lou Dort, the Dortcher Chamber, 18. Grimes, 14. Green, 11. And Devin Booker, 32 points against them recently. I've been projected here at 22-plus points in this matchup here. I do understand that maybe it's not minus 120 since I wrote that down a little while ago and I came back to it because I was going in between Concanipple and Brandon Miller all day, but I think both of them have a great game. Cleveland, they struggle versus spot-up shooters, 58% hit rate at home, 6 for his last 7 against the Cavs overall, 3 straight over games, 26, 28, and 23. He's playing a lot more minutes after returning from injury. He's chucking up the most shots on this team, so it can be Brandon Miller to score 20-plus points, coming minus 126. On DraftKings, jumping to my second play here in this Atlanta-Memphis game here. Should be a great game, 239 over-under, and the Hawks, they have moved CJ McCollum to the bench role, and I think that leaves plenty of shots for Jalen Johnson, and it showed in the most recent game, and I think that's going to continue here against the Grizzlies, so give me Jalen Johnson to go over 21.5 points, coming minus 132. On FanDuel, Memphis, they allowed the 8th most points and the 4th most threes to the power forward position. The Grizzlies, they allowed these last 15 games, allowed the 3rd most points and the 11th most threes to the to his power forward position. And then these last 7 games, they allowed the 6th most points and the 2nd most threes to the power forward position. So overall, should be a great matchup for Jalen Johnson, who has been struggling. 2 for his last 5, averaging 17.6. But the last 5 games, he's had 23, and then he's had 13, 12, 12. I think a few of those games was dealing with the Trae Young coming, the new team trying to figure out how the lineups would be. Because the most recent game, he had 28 points when they moved C.J. McCollum to the bench. He had 24 shots in that game against the Bucks. So he was becoming aggressive when he becomes the new primary player for this team. 0 for his last 1 against the Grizzlies, but that was last season where he wasn't the same one. And that game was a blowout. He only took 12 shots in that game overall, and he finished the game with 13 points in that matchup. 63% hit rate on the road this season, averaging 23 points per game. 67% hit rate without Kristaps Porzingis in the lineup, averaging 25 points per game. Memphis is 23rd versus the pick and roll ball handler, where Jalen Johnson runs this action a lot. He gets 15% of his points from the pick and roll action, so we love that coming in this game. And power forwards versus Memphis have had some pretty big games. Clowney, 17. We also have Paolo Banchero in Germany have a great game. Kenrich, 21. J-Dub, 26. Jake Riviera have back-to-back overs, 26 and 21. Bagley, 15. Kuzma, 15. Hendrickson, 21. And then J-Dub again, 24 points against this Grizzlies team. I have him projected here at 23 points in this game, so just squeaking by the over, but I think this one, high-paced game, 239 over-under, high total matchup. Only 2 for his last 5, but again, I think them moving C.J. McCollum off the bench, he becomes this team the more targeted star player, or not targeted, but the star player on the team. He's going to get more of the action towards him in this matchup. I think he has another great game in back-to-back games, coming off of a 28-point game. I think he has another massive game. It's going to be Jalen Johnson to go over 21.5 points, coming minus 132 on FanDuel. Jumping to my third and final play of the day in this Toronto-Sacramento game, 223 over-under. Toronto 6.5-point favorite, and DeMar DeRozan, he's been great these last few games. He has dominated this matchup in prior games. It's going to be DeMarvelous DeRozan to go over 21.5 points assists, coming minus 130. On FanDuel, he's gone over 6 for his last 6 against the Raptors, averaging 31 points assists per game. With the last 3 games against Toronto, he's had 30, 37, and 30 points assists in those games. And he's gone over 6 for his last 10 games overall, averaging 25.1 points assists per game. Last 5 games, he's had 38, 32, 21, 21, and 28. So super consistent overall these last 5 games, with the lowest being 21 points assists in 2 of those last 5. Last 5 games, he's had 4+ assists in each game, having 7+ potential assists per game. So he's been passing some dimes these last few games. And these last 5 games, he's playing 30+ minutes. And when he plays 30+ minutes, he gets the over 68% of the time, averaging 26 points assists per game. And Keegan Murray's ruled out. And when Keegan Murray's ruled out, he gets the over 64% of the time, averaging 24 points assists per game. These last 20 games, Toronto is 20th in mid-range shots allowed, where we all know DeMar DeRozan. He takes 46% of his shots in the mid-range. He loves to take his mid-range shots. And Toronto, they foul a lot. Toronto allows the 23rd most free throw attempts, where we all know DeMar. He loves to do those little pop fakes. I think today he's going to do a few of those pop fakes, drill a mid-range, and get to the foul line, where he gets 20% of his points from the foul line. Again, Toronto 23rd in free throw attempts allowed. Toronto is 22nd versus spot-up shooters, where DeMar DeRozan gets 15% of his shots from. Power forwards versus Toronto have had some massive games too. LeBron James, 31. Paul George, 21. Some older guys, just like DeMar, getting their overs against his team. Saunders, 13. Furphy, 12. I don't think that's right at all. Furphy? The Pacers guy? Is it Furphy? Let me know down below if I butcher that name. Worcestershire sauce, 20. Keyshawn George, 26. Yami Yakis, 23. Michael Porter Jr., 29. Josh Hart, 25. Jaylen Brown, 35. And Con Knipple, 28 points assists in his game. I have him projected here at 26 points assists in this matchup here. It's going to be DeMarvelous DeRozan. 6 for his last 6 versus Toronto. He's going to make it 7 for his last 7. So it's going to be DeMarvelous DeRozan to go over 21.5 points assists, coming minus 130 on FanDuel. And those are my 3 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, let me know down below what's your best bet. Shout out to you, Josh O, with the Bam Adebayo play in the comments section. You saved my night there overall. I appreciate you. You always steadily giving me plays in the comments section. I appreciate it. Fun NBA day, or not really, some massive spreads overall. So I'm a little weary. If you guys are new to the channel, I don't love to take plays in massive spread games just because the game could be a blowout, and then you do that. But it is the NBA, so you never know each night with each matchup. But I'm sticking to these 3 games in closer spread matchups here. If I would lean a lot of things, I would lean Cade Cunningham points assists against the Pelicans. I think that game is going to be great. I think Giannis assists, rebounds assists. But the rebounds assist has moved down. It was like 16.5. Now it's at 15.5. Maybe if you can get it at 14.5. But I think Giannis points, rebounds assist is another great play. Might have another added play in the comment section. Definitely make sure to check the comment section down below. If I do it, I'll pin the comment down below. Or make sure to follow my Twitter at DaWiddler, where I'll post them no matter what there. Hopefully you're having a better Wednesday than I did this morning. Keep on smiling, and I will see you in the next one.